Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today I thought we would talk about colouring, and particularly the beautiful butterflies from the Butterfly Gala stamp set. These are absolutely lovely images, and you can do a two-step stamping. But what I wanted to show today was, with the various different mediums that we have, how you can create some absolutely beautiful butterflies which look really realistic. So I'm going to just prick this up just a little bit so you can see it easier. And you can see you've got some absolutely, let's wait for the camera to settle on it. You've got some lovely different tones of butterflies, which can be achieved really easily with our different mediums. So let's get started, and I'll show you some different ways of colouring these butterflies. I'm just going to pop them off to the side for the moment, and then we can work on them. So let's put these out on here. So what I tend to do is I will cut a small strip which is 2 inches, because then that fits the butterflies in perfectly. And we are going to take the butterfly which has the that looks like a butterfly. There are various different images, so you can get sort of modern ones and ones with different patterns on. But for this one, I want to do them as you would do a butterfly, as realistic as you can get it. And there's a few little tips that I've sort of picked up along the way that I thought, oh, I shall share with you, because I think sometimes colouring can be a little bit of a struggle, and sometimes we think, oh, what goes with what, and where do we start, and where do we put dark and stuff. So we are just going to ink up and put the butterflies in. Let's make sure my head's not in the way. So I'm going to put, how many am I going to do? Let me do, I'm going to stamp 4 out, and we'll see time-wise with the video how many we actually get. So they're very easy to do, and I know some people have cut them in half, but to be quite honest, I quite like to have a complete set of butterflies, and then I keep them in a pot, and I can use them for embellishments for almost everything, because as you can imagine, they are perfect for all sorts of things. So a little butterfly on the top of something as an embellishment just works, and the little ones are lovely as well as the larger ones. So let's just clean that one off, pop it back in there. Now then we need, there's 2 types of little bodies for this butterfly. So they are, I should get both of them out. There's a body, there's antenna as well. I'm not doing the antenna because if you cut them out, you can then put the antenna on once you have put it onto the card, so that then it lines up. So we're just going to take the little body and get the black out again. Black inks, if you are doing watercolouring, you need a an ink soluble. If you are doing blends, you need a water soluble. We sell Memento, which is water soluble, which is good for the blends. And we sell StazOn, which is good for the watercolouring. I'm having to line this up because my head, sorry, because the camera light is very bright. It's really good for you guys, but it's not very good for me. So that's the body in on there. You will notice that I use a black ink that we don't supply. It's one that is my favourite, so I use it for everything, because I find that once it's dried, it works perfectly with water as well as, where did I put that other little one, as well as alcohol. So that's just my personal favourite. You can use whatever inks or whatever black ink you like. So use whatever works for you. And we're just going to get the little bodies in on here, and hopefully that's not too bad. As I say, the top of my block shines with the light of my camera, so it's a little bit of hit and miss whether I actually get this in the centre, because I can't stick my head over the top. So let's just get that one in there. Okay, so we now have 4 butterfly images, and we're going to do the colouring on there. I just wanted to show you the stamping of them in case it's a set that you haven't got yet, because it is absolutely lovely. I really do like this set. It is it's one of my favourites. I like the fact that we've got so many sentiments with it. You know, thanks so very much. A little note. Oh, how often do we want to do cards that just have a little note on and we write something inside? The good things in life are better with you. Hello, beautiful. And you've been on my mind. So just absolutely lovely. So let's get on with this colouring. The first one I'm going to do is using the blends, and this is this. I will get it out so you can see it. This is this butterfly, and I really love the purple tones on this. Now, what I chose for this one was, which you might think is an unusual combination, I chose the dark rich raspberry. So with the bullet nib, because then you can get into the tiny little spaces, we are going to just colour in the outside. Now, with this type of effect for the butterfly, what you want is your dark colour in the middle and down on the right at the outside. So you're going dark into very pale, because that gives that the way a butterfly's wings actually are, it gives sort of a really quite realistic look. So I'm just doing little sort of flicking strokes, and the rich raspberry, because it's a really nice dark colour, works well at the right on the tips on the outside, and then you just sort of flick it in just a little bit. And then the same on the bottom one. And again, spend as much time as you want. I tend to do things fairly quickly on the video, so it doesn't take up too much time. Now, the little butterfly, it's literally just round the edge, down in the centre, round the edge again, round that little edge at the bottom, and just a little bit in the centre. And you can see, because it is small, I tend to just do little dots. So that's the dark. Then we are going to take the Highland Heather, and we've got dark and light. So I'm going to take the dark Highland Heather, and we are then just going to blend, just by doing little circular motions, the line between the dark rich raspberry and just bring it out. I find little circular motions work quite well for this. So we're just going to bring that out like that, and then on this one we're just going to give a little flick in here, just down that line, and we're going to leave just a little bit of white for the centre, because it's a very small image. You can do that quite well. So you're just going to just take it in like that. So that's the small one done. Now for the larger one, we're then going to take the light Highland Heather, and again I'm using the bullet nib because it's not a large image. And then what we're going to do is we're going to blend in that line again, both of those. So again, on this I'm doing little circular motions rather than flicks, because you want the line to be blended. But we're going backwards and forwards, so we're getting quite a bit of colour. And then right in that centerpiece, you're going to just very gently stroke it, because you only want one bit of colour coming up through there. I'm going to turn it as I go, so just one stroke, because when that dries, that's going to be the lightest area. So try not to go over it too many times, because you want that, when it dries, to be the lightest area on there. So that's why I'm just doing sort of lines through and taking down like that. Okay, so that is the first one. Now you can see once it's dried, let's put that one back in there. Once it's dried, you will get this effect. So you get a really sort of pale part in the centre, and on this one you get the little white. But again, that will look perfect on an image. So that's how you can do it with blends. You can do it any colour you want. The second one that I'm going to show you is using, and we're going to do this one, is using our ink pads. And we're going to use one of my favourite tools, which I'm always using, as you know, the Aqua Painter. So this time we are choosing a dark colour at the outside, which is the Cherry Cobbler. Now I have put some re-inker in there. You want it dark, so you are going to literally just pick up some of this. I probably need it nearer to me so I can just get the dark bit. So let's just put it on here. So you literally just want the darkest part that you can, and you're going to again go round the edges, but you don't want it to go paler, so you want it as dark as you can, taking it up through there and just bringing it out a bit. And we're going to do this round all of the bits. Now I'm using heavy Whisper White for this, or thick Whisper White. You can use our standard Whisper White, it'll work fine, because you can see I am not using very much water at all. What I want is for literally it to just be that dark piece down there, just round on the edges. So we're going to do exactly the same on this one. And as I say, I want it as dark as I can, because the outside, you want that really dark colour. And then we're going to do the inside bits as well. So always work from the top and the bottom. So the outside and the inside, and the same colours as you work through, because then the inside, or the centre part here, will then be your lightest. So you can bring it through a little bit, and then we'll do this top one on here. And again, re-inker is probably a good idea for this, because you don't want, whereas I've done a lot of things showing you washes, this is really using it, you want it as dark as you can get, because of using the blend. Okay, so that's on there. And then on the little one, again, just down the side, in on this centre, in on the centre, because it's a smaller image. I use the small or the smaller nibbed Aqua Painter, and as you can see, you can get it into a really lovely point. Okay, so we're then going to take, let's put that back. We're then going to take crushed curry, and again I am using ink from the well, but you can use your block and pick it up that way. We need to clean this well, so a piece of kitchen paper, and you literally just run the brush through until it comes clear. So you can see on this, it's now just coming through clear with water, and then we need to literally dry it off as much as we can, because you don't want too much water on here. And then again, we are taking it as dark as we can, so literally just at the top of the nib, and we are then going to take the yellow down here and bring that in, so a line of yellow and then a line of yellow, because we want the yellow to be quite dark. Okay, then you are going to literally take from where the red is into that yellow and just bring it up a bit. So you're blending that bit through on the yellow, and then you're bringing it up. And what you want is, again, is for the centre to be very pale. So you're just blending that through, and then in on the centre as well, so where the yellow is, and then just bringing that across, again in those sort of single strokes, so that you can then get it really nice and pale to blend in. And then we're going to do exactly the same with the other one. So we're going to take the yellow, bring it down on the side like that, take the yellow, which is the crushed curry, because again it's quite a strong colour, and then we're going to bring this from the outside in, just bring it through, and again from the inside out, and then just bring it down, and again just light strokes, because then when it dries in that lovely sort of two-tone. Let's just do this one on here. But I love the fact that you can use all the different mediums we have for different things. So if you haven't got blends, and you haven't got pencils, and you haven't got markers, all you need is our ink pad and the Aqua Painter, and away you go. So we're just blending this out again and just bringing it up, and again this part you want it really quite pale in the centre, because then as it dries you have that really lovely, oh, I didn't get any on that bit, did I? Let's bring that down on there. So just take it from the back and blend it in. As I say, when you're doing it you can spend a little bit more time, and you won't have the bright lights coming in, but hopefully you will get the idea of what I'm trying to achieve here. Okay, so you're just blending that out in there. And then on the little one, it is exactly the same thing. So you take it from the outside, take it from the inside, and then just bring it out. And I've just kept a little bit on here because I haven't done the other side of that, but just to give you the idea, you're just going to blend those two in, and this time we're taking all of the colour on there. So if I turn around and show you the once it's dried, because like everything, it always looks better once it's completely dried. So that's when it's completely dried, and you can see you have these lovely tones coming through with the dark going out, which again is absolutely beautiful for a card. Okay, now the last two, I wasn't as happy with the medium that I chose, but I'm going to show you anyway, because it's a way of doing it. So this time we're going to do a blue one, and we're going to do it with the our marker pens. Now with this one, what I did was, and I'm just going to do the large one on here. So again, I took the darkest colour on the outside, and I'm only going to do one wing on this because then it'll save a little bit of time. So darkest on the outside, bring it in just a little bit out on there, so it just goes over that piece. And then a lighter one, and this one was Coastal Cabana. So you could have like a night of navy on the outside part, a Coastal Cabana in the middle, and again you are blending in those two colours in there like that. So you can blend that one up through, blend that one up through. And then we're going to take the palest one, which is whatever is the palest one that you have in your selection. This one actually is a retired, is Soft Sky, which is no longer with us, but the really nice blue would work beautifully with that, which is this one. Which is balmy blue. So they do the light balmy blue. But again, I don't like how that has it doesn't blend in quite as well. You probably could take your Aqua Painter and give it a little bit more of a blend through, but for me it wasn't as nice as the other. So that was one of my least favourites, which is, where was the one I did on there, which was there. But again, it does work going dark and light in. And then the last one was with the pencils. And again, the pencils give a more subtle look. So again, starting in with the dark, working it in, but it gave more of a subtle look on there. So I think I would use, as a first choice, use the blends. Now on this one, the last one I'm going to show you, I'm just going to do it with, this is Dark Bermuda Bay. Now, you could use Night of Navy or another colour that you have, but again, you want your dark on the outside. So we're going to take that one in, and again, I'm just going to do one side for you. So your dark in on the side. But you can see you can mix and match. You don't have to use just your dark and your light on your blends. You can use, as long as it's the same sort of colour family. Although, as I say, if you were doing the red and the yellow, it wouldn't be. So I've used the dark on there, and then I'm going to use the dark balmy blue, because I want some dark blue coming through on here. Like that. And then I'm going to use the light. In fact, I'm going to use, let's have a go at using this. I'm going to use light mint macaron and see what that does. Because again, I wanted to show you that you should experiment with things. Yes, you see, that's going to look nice, because that will give you a sort of a blue-green look. So blend those through first. Like that, and then literally your last one, you just want to stroke it, because when it dries it gives you a really pale. So I haven't tried that combination, but you can see you don't have to stick to just one colour family or one blend with the light and dark. You can mix and match. So again, you know, that one I think is lovely. And obviously once you've punched them out, so we have a lovely punch, which is going to become available again. It was so popular that it actually ran out of stocks. So we are due to get some in very soon. I'm taking this off because I can't see with my lights to line it up. But this punch is absolutely lovely, because being a duo punch, it punches both of them out at the same time. So, as I say, I keep a little pot, and I put all of mine in the in a little pot, and then you have them there ready for whatever project. And I do different colours and things depending on my mood. So I'm not going to take those ones out because we haven't finished with those. But you can see, just put that back on its shelf. You can see you now have some lovely butterflies. And the colouring technique with all of them is exactly the same. It is very simple, and I know some of you will have been doing this idea using your dark and then coming into your light. But I just wanted to. I had several people at my last class that I did that turned around and said, "Oh, those butterflies are absolutely lovely. How did you do them?" So I thought that I would come on and I would show you exactly how I did them. So use your colours, use the different tones. Now you see this one I think is going to be absolutely lovely. You can see on there where using that pale mint macaron on there has given a lovely tone for the butterfly. So thank you so much for watching me today, and do look forward to seeing you again. Bye bye.